Hey everybody, it is your boy Shel Fuller, aka The New Ways, and this is sort of the first time I'm making such a video. So, forgive me. I'm looking at the screen. I know I'm not supposed to be looking over there. I'm supposed to be looking over here, but whatever. So, um, today we're going to talk about an issue that I'm having with DistroKid, and I'm going to be cursing probably a lot. So, if you're a person and you're sensitive to cursing, and to raunchy bits and stuff like that, then you need to go ahead and just click away. But if you're not, then go ahead and stay here because I'm going to talk about it. So, um, I'm a music producer. I've been producing music for about 20 something years. So, yeah. And so I have a lot of friends who are also artists and things of that sort. I started off, my first distribution company was CD Baby. I left CD Baby just because I wanted something new. And DistroKid was out, and there was this Be Prolific bullshit, and I was like, okay, great. So Be Prolific. So I moved over to DistroKid, even though still to this day, by CD Baby, I made the most money in royalties than I've made from any of the distribution companies I've ever had. So that that says tells you something about old school stuff. So um, a friend of mine, Destin, and also his sister just came out with they're coming out with a wonderful album. The first two songs have been released. There's a single out now. Her name is Shira Lee. The song is called Awaken Dear Ones. I did a remix on it. The song itself is beautiful. It's a great work. And if you have a chance, go and take a listen to it, and you won't regret it. So of course, if you do a remix for someone or if you produce with someone on anything, then when it comes down to royalties, you have splits. So that means that you agree upon, okay, so from this song, so and so gets 10%, so and so gets 20%, and blah, 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 blah. And what most distribution companies have done is they've made it rather easy for you. They have a section called splits where normally you can just put in the name of the person, what their title was for the project, what their percentage is, and then their email address. And then the person will get a link. They click on the link, and then they can choose where they want their money to be sent. So PayPal or to bank account or whatever. So um, about a few months ago, a friend of mine introduced me to Ditto. So I looked at Ditto and I was like, oh, you know what? I think I'm going to move my entire catalog over to Ditto because I'm not happy with DistroKid anyway. Mainly because I noticed that I didn't seem to be really making any money, even though when I looked at the reports, things were coming in. It just seemed like the money wasn't coming my way. And I'm not talking about tons of money and stuff like that. But sometimes you need that 100 euros when you're sitting there broke and suddenly you get a notification that says, "Hey, motherfucker, you got 100 euros in PayPal," and you're like, "Oh shit, it's time to go party." So I'm like, okay, great. So I found that what I also don't like is almost every other distribution company. So you upload your song, your album, whatever it is, and most of the time, most companies offer you stuff like, okay, free, like YouTube and other things. Well, they have this whole section at the bottom. Oh, you want to buy this add-on? You want to buy this add-on? And it's like, no, I don't want to buy this add-on because it should be offered for free. And if you do buy an add-on, let me just so you know, the next year when you have to pay your fee and say you want to remove that add-on, they're like, no, you can't. So you're stuck with paying a higher fee. um I also don't like the fact you pay every year and then literally like clockwork you start getting harassing emails, pay, and they will take your stuff down. I had my music taken down because it took me a week because I was waiting on my salary. My music was gone. A friend of mine went to listen to one of my songs and he's like, "Where's your stuff?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He's like, "There's nothing from you online." My presence was there, but it was all empty. And that sort of pissed me off too. So um and so I decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to move from DistroKid and I'm going to move to Ditto. I seems to be going well. I'll show DistroKid. You can write them an email on the 1st of March. You might get an answer from their customer service by the end of April. And the email that you will be getting is going to just be asking you for more feedback. So it's going to take you another month. So it's gotten ridiculous. Um, so I moved my stuff to Ditto. Anyway, um, my friends I did the remix for, they're using DistroKid. So they entered my name as a remixer of one of the songs to get whatever percentage I'm supposed to get for this thing. It doesn't really even matter. So remind you, I closed my account, moved all my stuff. I closed my account on DistroKid. I still have a login to get in, but I'm not paying for any of the levels. Not doing any distribution or anything through there. And most of the time, it doesn't matter if you don't have to be a customer of the company that is distributing the music, especially if it's for someone else. There's no fee. There's nothing. You just basically just click, and they're asking you basically, so where do you want us to send your money, because you were part of a project and you have a legal right, or you had an agreement to get this percentage of that. So good. So of course I started getting emails from them saying, hey, you need to go online because Charlene, she has a new song. She added you to the whole thing. And I said, okay, cool. So I clicked on the link and I said, oh, do you have an account? And I was like, yeah, I do have an account, so I'll log in. Now, this is the part that pissed me off. Now, I am part of the gay community, which means I suck dick, but I'm not sucking DistroKid's dick. Y'all can fuck off. Y'all have fucked enough people up the ass without lube, with your little add-ons and shit like that. So I'm expecting, okay, I'm going to click this link. It's going to take me to a page where I can confirm, okay, this is correct and this is where my money should be sent. No, I can't do that. You know why? Because they're telling me I need to sign up with a yearly plan in order to allow myself to get royalties from someone else who's distributing through them. So that means I've already given you years of money for bullshit. Now you want me to pay you in order to get what's rightfully mine on a song that's not even my song, that's being distributed through your company, and the people who contributed it to the song in whatever form, if they want to get their money, they also have to pay a monthly fee. Y'all can fuck all the way off. Y'all can fuck all the way off, man. That is some bullshit. That's some mafia shit. Because basically, what you're saying is, oh, we're going to keep a record of your portion of whatever it is you're supposed to get, but until you pay us, you're not going to get your money because you don't know where my money's supposed to be sent. I may have changed it. I can't change it. I can't change anything. It just basically shows me my earnings from my previous when I was distributing through there. It says I have like €4 sitting there, but nothing else. I have never heard of anything like this before in my life. You're holding people's basically their hard earned money hostage so that you can make more money, which tells me as a business, this is the problem. There are other services out there that are offering more and providing more. The reason I like Ditto is because there is a yearly fee, but if you decide you're not going to release music anymore, but you want to keep your music out on the internet, what you release stays on the platforms. It's not taken down. So there's no one sitting there with like a baseball bat trying to beat your fucking kneecaps in, like, okay, well, we need our money. So if you're not gonna do it, we're gonna take down your whole fucking catalog. There's none of that bullshit. Um, Anytime I wrote Ditto, they responded really quickly. They listened to me. I can see they actually, a person, not an AI, a person read my emails, and I had communication with people back and forth. Lovely, it was great. They explained to me things, even if I didn't agree or like their policy about a certain thing, they at least took the time to explain it to me. But this is not right. You cannot force people who have just contributed as an artist to a project, but someone else's project, hold their money hostage and say, hey, you know what? Unless you buy one of our packages, we're not going to release your money because I'm not giving you any more of my money. I'm not planning on releasing a single thing. I wouldn't release a fucking dial tone through you guys. You couldn't pay me to fucking fart on a microphone and fucking put it out as a single through DistroKid because they're full of shit. And this is what I mean. This is the same issue with Spotify. Other than their political standing, is that these companies, Spotify and DistroKid, you remember back in the day, you would buy a record, you buy a CD, you buy a tape. Okay, I am old, so whatever. And it had a value to it. So even once we moved online and we had Apple, every song was 99 cents. Okay, great. When you look at what Spotify actually pays artists, if you're a Beyonce or a Taylor Swift and you have the power to go in and say, hey, we're negotiating. I'm not going to play by your standard paying out procedures, and because they're big, they're huge stars. But the rest of us, we're small artists. We do this because we love it. We do this because it's our passion. Um, we do this because we have to. Our soul tells us we have to. So now I'm looking at spreadsheets, and if you look at a spreadsheet of a list basically of every individual song that has been streamed or downloaded through all the different services, and you get to Spotify, you would think you have a huge spreadsheet. You're thinking, oh shit, I'm about to buy a house. And you look at the end sum and you're like, what? Because these bitches are splitting pennies. Doesn't that make accounting significantly harder when you're sitting there trying to split a penny? A penny. You're trying to tell me that as a company, you have now valued my work as less than a penny. The effort I put into whatever I do. It's not about people liking my music or anyone's music. It's not about taste. It's about the value of music. So you come out as a streaming service and you tell people, we're here for you. We have everything, back catalogs. You can find everything here. So music lovers flock to you. But in the end, the people who create the music, you're like, yeah, thank you for giving us all of this material and all of this content so that we can make shitloads of money off of you. But to be honest with you, we're not willing to even pay you a fucking penny for your fucking songs. And then you have DistroKid. Other people are like, okay, you're releasing this album, okay. Do you want it to go to your YouTube? You want it to go? And you're like, yeah. And they're like, cool. Well, that's of course that's included. You get over to fucking DistroKid and they're like, oh, that's gonna be $10.99. Oh, and if you die, I love this. And if you die, what do you want us to do? If I die, if I die, if I'm dead, I don't give a fuck what y'all do. I'm dead. My family has instructions. They know what the fuck to do. I don't want y'all to do shit. I want y'all to leave me the fuck alone and let me lay where I lay, which I shouldn't have been fucking with you bitches in the first place, cause y'all full of shit. Um, so DistroKids, I'm telling you now, if you are a new artist, yeah, you look at DistroKid and you're like, oh yeah, there are other options out there that are significantly better. Like I said, I moved to Ditto. Even SoundCloud. SoundCloud has stepped its game up so well. There's a technical thing. There's still I think they're still developing, but they let you distribute. They give you insights. They let you upload a song and then get feedback because they target to a group of to fans of particular genres and stuff like that. I have to say, I use SoundCloud to distribute just like a couple of things, but I use it a lot to get feedback when I'm working on albums to see how people respond. I have to say, I thought SoundCloud was going to go down like a few years ago. I was like, that's sort of sad because I liked it, but they stepped their game up. But then you have DistroKid, they're not stepping anything up. They're a business model where they're like, we're just going to take your money and do the least possible. Because basically what they're doing, they're a file transfer service. There's no other services. If you click on in DistroKid and you look and they say, "Oh, here's our partners. Look at our partners." Their partners are bullshit. If you click on one of their partners, you come to a website. It looks like it was made in 2001. I have a 5-year-old kid with no arms and 2 toes can make those fucking websites. So I don't know what's going on with distro. To be honest with you, I do remixes because I love doing them. I don't care about a split. That's the last thing I care about. But I do care about people who are investing and who are really trying to do their best and who are really trying to maybe push themselves out there. And then they decide, oh, I want to go somewhere else. And then DistroKid says, okay, well, you can take your stuff elsewhere. But if you work on someone else's stuff and they happen to be using us, you're gonna have to come back to us and pay us. You won't be getting a dime from me, but you will have to find a way to release not only any monies that's for me, but for anyone else. No one should have to pay for your fucking stupid ass services, which are no services at all, to get money because they were a contributor on someone else's project. This idea, this concept is ridiculous. This is what happens when you have companies trying to milk as much money from their customers as possible, but in a negative way. Because they don't want to add any added value. Because that means more work and more effort. It may not even mean more work and more effort. It may mean we have to do a project for 4 or 5 months to set things up, and then it just runs sort of by itself. These things with partners, but they don't want to do anything but take your money. So, um, if you are a new person and you want to distribute your first releases, and you're like, I don't know where to go, I would suggest if you're just starting out in the game, I think my suggestion would be using SoundCloud first if you're not really so used to working with distributing companies. Um, Ditto's good. There's tons of other ones. Look online, see what you think is going to match. But what I tell you is, you will get more bang for your buck. I have been with Ditto a few months. I have made more money from Ditto in the last 3 months than I have from um, DistroKid in the last year and a half or 2 years. But I'm not. It's not like all of a sudden my music is starting getting popular. It's almost the same amount of volume, people listening or streaming and stuff like that. So there's just something. The numbers aren't numbering. The math ain't mathing. And black folks be pissed the fuck off because we need our money for reparations, bitch. So DistroKid, you on my shit list. I'm gonna keep my eye on you. You best believe. You best believe. Unless you change that policy, I'm gonna be riding your ass like a donkey at the Tijuana Donkey Show. Thank you guys. Good night. New ways. I have a new EP out called "The Truth About Your Illness." Go take a look at that. Go, Shira Lee, Awaken Dear Ones. Check it out. And thank you for listening to my lovely rant. But sometimes it has to be that way. Bye.